Models are commoditized. Let's just pick the leaderboard winner. Adorable. I am Professor Whiskers, and I have watched serious teams choose software the way I choose a windowsill, by warmth, confidence, and whoever sat there first. Today's episode is the distance between that claim and your invoice. This one is called Just Use the Best Model. First, benchmarks measure benchmark tasks, not your workload. MMLU, human eval, and their tidy cousins sample public problems under fixed prompts, while your Q has messy PDFs, private jargon, retries, and tools. That gap exists because a ranking must be comparable, so it trims away context. Organizations fumble this by treating a percentile like a procurement committee. Even a perfect score leaves a practical question. What does this model cost? How fast does it answer? And how much can it see? So price the shape of the work, not the trophy. A frontier model may charge for every input and output token, add seconds before the first token, and offer a huge window you mostly ignore. A shorter prompt with retrieval can beat a context dump. Latency matters when a human waits. Throughput matters when 10,000 documents do not. Teams fumble this by benchmarking quality in a notebook and discovering tail latency in production, which raises the rude possibility. Could a small model clear the bar once constraints are priced? Yes, when the task is narrow and the metric is honest. An 8 billion parameter model can classify tickets, extract dates, or draft SQL with the schema, especially after prompt tuning or a small LoRa. It wins because tokens are cheaper, GPUs are smaller, and the first byte arrives before your meeting ages. The fumble is assuming small means dumb or frontier means safe. But one workload is a pet, not a herd. Which model should handle each intent, and what happens when the chosen one fails? Rote by intent, then plan for shame. A classifier can send summaries to a small model, legal extraction to a careful one, and code repairs to a tool-using model, with fallback when confidence drops or sun breaks. This exists because tasks differ in risk, verbosity, and tolerance for clever nonsense. Organizations fumble it with one prompt, one model, and a retry button labeled governance. Yet routing rules are only as good as the evidence beneath them. On your data, which candidate actually deserves each route? So build a small eval from your own traffic, sample 200 real requests, keep the prompts and tool outputs frozen, grade exact fields with code, and use a judge model only for taste with a rubric. This exists because averages hide the one failure that costs money, trust, or a compliance incident. Teams fumble it by evaluating demos, not distribution, then calling vibes validation. The unanswered question is embarrassing. If the method fits on one spreadsheet, why did nobody run it? Meanwhile, in reality, nobody ran an evaluation on their own data. The model was chosen by whoever had a login and an opinion. Procurement liked the logo. Security liked the webinar. The loudest engineer liked the demo, and the quiet one was updating a spreadsheet named Final 7. Then the bill arrives. Frontier prices appear for tasks a small model handles between naps. Nobody can explain the difference because nobody measured accuracy, latency, or failure cost per workflow. Finance calls it innovation. I call it tuna bought with a hedge fund card. Here's the punchline, delivered slowly. The best model is the one you measured. You measured none of them. I remain Professor Whiskers. I benchmarked 6 sunbeams for this nap. Rigor. The leaderboard may resume purring.